Wow, that really picked up the pace. So it's almost like it's speed controlling. Check this out. I'm just gonna keep gaining speed. I'm gonna press this red button. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So you've got a classic 10-speed, 7-speed bike, whatever it may be, and you want to buy an electric bike, but you can't afford, say, an electric bike, you know, because electric bikes are expensive. You like the bike you have that's fully manual. Maybe you are having trouble pedaling it in trails. Maybe you're getting older and you could use the electric help. Here's an option right here from LIVALL. This is the PikaBoost, and all this is, guys, is it's an attachment, a simple mod, all in one kit. And we're gonna go through that today. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it, show you how it works, install it on this Glendale bike here. This is just kind of a classic. Let's get started with the review. It's actually got regen on it, which is great. So if you're coasting downhill, this is the portion that rests on your tire. You're going to be charging the battery back up if you have a long hill descent or if you're just slowing down. It's got app remote control, so I'm going to be hooking it up to my Android phone. We're going to see how that all works. Fall and slip protection, that's great. So it's got some kind of accelerometer in here. Anyway, let's take it out of the box. This is an early release that I got here, so I'm not sure if this is going to be the packaging. A little toolkit and a charging cable. Quick guide here. USB-C to C. 4 pre-thread lock screws, star tool, and we have a little clamp right here. Let's see what this is. A little plastic bracket here. It looks like maybe a little mud guard. A little box that says redefine your safety. Oh, cool. So this is the control. That's neat. This looks like maybe a universal control. It's got a camera button, a stop, up, down, left, right, and a speak. That's interesting. And then it looks like basically the attachment for that, just a little rubber clip assembly. So my first time seeing this and taking it out of the box, but wow, that is a cool looking device. Look at this thing. This is where it's gonna rest on your tire. You can see how it's just got this really sticky kind of rubber. It's like silicone basically. It's got a power button here. Hit it once and it looks like it's just about fully charged. This looks like our charge port, and this is kind of how it's going to rest on your wheel. This is cool. So without even reading anything, it's basically pushing down with a spring, and we should be able to adjust that. And then the front here, this is where it's going to link onto your frame, and I'm going to do all that with you. Cool aluminum construction here with anodizing on it, gold anodizing. The only other thing I'm seeing is this door here. So let's give it a squeeze. Open this up. Oh, cool. So that's just like the battery door. A little tab to help you pull it out. We have another USB-C charging port there, 4 dots to indicate charge. USB-C input 5 to 28 volts, max 65 watts of charging. Lithium ion battery pack, 160 watt-hour battery at 21.6 volts. USB-C output 5 to 28 volts, max 100 watts. Interesting. So you could actually use this as a battery bank. So say you're on the trail, you have an emergency. Let's try that real quick. Amazing. Look at this, guys. Effectively, this is a USB-C fast charging battery pack. Very useful. I'm glad they did that. That's awesome. And to put it in, just line up the battery pins here. You see those inside there? Super simple. Pushing down, I'm feeling like a little click and the pins are going in. And then just putting the door back on, squeezing it. That's a 30 megabyte app, so that just should take a few seconds to install. Okay, so in the instruction manual, it says to link up to this thing before you install it. So long press on the power. Privacy agreement. Gives you a little quick tutorial of what's going on here. Need to let it have permissions. We'll just go while using app. All right, so let's go into device here. We got the PikaBoost all the way at the bottom. Boom, it already linked up. Look how quick that was. Click to verify. Oh, wow, what? So you've got blinkers too? That's cool. This has a tail light and a blinker. Rear light settings. So you have all kinds, fast flashing. Look at that. Safety light as well as this whole electric motor. That's great how it's all in one. I forgot to record my camera, but I am upgrading it. I'll show you where that is to upgrade. A pretty fast and speedy upgrade. I love to see devices that have this kind of wireless ability. You can see we're at just 99% right here. Boom. And that was super easy. And I'll show you exactly where I went to do that. When you're on the main PikaBoost screen and you're connected, click on these 3 dots on the top, device upgrade, currently latest firmware now. Okay guys, now that we're updated, basically I want to charge this thing up. Aside from being able to use this little guy as a portable battery pack, it's great how when you already have it mounted on your bike, you can just remove this, take this wherever you want, and this is also an input charge port. And while it's charging, we'll go ahead and install the actual hardware on the bike. That DC port is taking 64 watts. So let this thing charge up as we mount the apparatus on the bike. All right guys, so since this thing already has a brake light and I want to install it right here, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the seat post and take off this existing, it's just a reflector on here, so I'm going to take that off. Probably a good time to make sure you have your ride height set. Make sure the seat is at the height you want before you install this thing. Actually, I want to put on, this looks like a little mud guard so that your tire doesn't fling dirt or mud and kind of cover the tail light. So looks like this is just kind of slipping over. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything about this little mud flap in here at all. I don't know, that seems like it's a little more difficult than it should be to get on there. So maybe if they could make this little mud flap a little bit easier to put on. Couldn't really connect the bottom ones here just because they don't line up correctly. We'll see how that works though. Okay guys, and here goes the installation. Loosen this a little bit. Okay, so see how that's gonna sit on the tire like that? What's kind of interesting to me is how this clamp is also threaded. Usually these things are just like a slip through. Come on now. If you guys have a key and like a drill, I would recommend using that because this ain't no 5-minute install. I don't know if that was a kind of a defect or what, but you can see how loose that is. I don't think it's supposed to be that loose. Anyway, I'm gonna take it upon myself to try and fix this. I don't think this part is supposed to be threaded. So I'm gonna drill out these threads and that will hopefully make it clamp really nice and tight. There we go. So I think that's probably gonna work better. See how that slides through? All right. Well, that's, I think, how it's supposed to be. That's totally solid now. Nowhere in the manual it mentions how to install this. We're just kind of hooking this on the handlebar, I guess wherever it fits. We got this little elastic pull tab to lock it on. You need these 2 pieces. Otherwise, the cruise mode apparently will not work or will not shut off when you pull the brake. So I'm putting it on the rear brake here. I'm noticing little sticky tabs on here. It sure would have been nice if they just gave you a little alcohol swab. I want to wipe the 2 surfaces so that this stuff sticks on really good. Here we go. Stick that one on there. Make sure that's seated really well. And then the other one. This may be a good time to decide where you want to route this wire. Basically just putting them together and pushing down. And the way that works is you pull your brake lever and it disconnects the magnet. Just sliding the battery in the compartment here, pressing and holding the power button. There we go. So you have to restart the app, it looks like, if you're having trouble connecting. Make sure we're linked with our blinker. Yeah. So this might be a good bike to actually have your cell phone mounted on here. I don't have a cell phone mount right now. Let's see if we can use it with this. Yeah, that worked. So that initial double beep was the connecting. This just automatically, I guess it has a battery in there and everything. Cool, so we can use our left and right blinkers. It automatically paired the remote control. That was interesting. So I'm just clicking on paired there. That's basically a snapshot of all the buttons on this remote control. It says nothing about the blinkers on this, which is kind of interesting. So hopefully they can update that. 15. After about 15 blinks, it automatically goes off. Loving that. Let's go into the installation calibration here on the app. It kind of has a motor in it to make sure it's tight on the wheel. I pushed this down really tight and mounted it pretty tight, so that shouldn't have been any issues there. Let's just go try lift up. There we go. So it's releasing. Okay, push down. It says installation in progress, installation calibration success. It's just to make sure the tension is enough on the wheel. Say you have it mounted too high, they want to just make sure it's feeling tension so you're actually getting that grip on the wheel. There was something else I saw in the quick start manual that I haven't seen in here. Put the bike so it senses it's up straight to calibrate, but I didn't see anything in here in the app to do that, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe it's calibrated from the factory. That's just if you fall, it keeps your wheel from spinning. It looks like it needs to have some kind of momentum to start. I'm not seeing really any way to just do a from stop start. Even if I hold the button here, nothing's happening. So let's just give it a quick little kick. There we go. You can see that motor turning the wheel. Let's see if we go fast and slow here. I'm just pressing up on this arrow. Actually, let me put this kickstand down. There we go. So that's our max speed. Looks like it's doing good. You have to have a little bit of motion and the motor has to sense it's moving to start. I would have liked to see maybe a 0 start help. I don't see anything like that on here or in the instructions. So now the question is, when we're running at say full speed and we want to just immediately stop, hit the brakes. And when that separates, it breaks the tire and it stops and it will not continue on. Let's see if we push the pedal again. Yep, when it starts rotating, it engages again in whatever mode you're in. But it seems like it starts in kind of the slow medium speed. So I'm in maximum speed again. I want to just press this stop button. This is also the mode switch button, I believe. Let's hit stop. Yeah, that just cut the power. All right, guys, let's go ahead and give this thing a run for its money. Just going on a leisurely stroll. This is the DJI Neo I'm using to film this video. Let's get off this gravel. Okay, just felt a little bit of assistance there, a tiny bit. I'm feeling this, guys, when I just push, see it, the bike is automatically doing that. When I just go like that, it's sensing the tires turning and it's giving it like little boosts. Let's hop back on and feel this. There we go, on. 1, 2 seconds, stopped. So it's like on for 2 seconds and off for 10. Free cruise in the app. Here we go. Okay. Free cruise. I'm tapping this forward button here. And that has now kicked in. Check it out. Not pedaling. And it's keeping me going. So you get a little bit of a boost, guys. Not much. But let's see how it goes if we start going faster, if it'll maintain this speed as I was going downhill. Now we're going up, not touching anything, not pedaling. And it's boosting, that's awesome. So free cruise will kind of be like the throttle on a bike without pedaling. So exercise is going to give you a little bit of resistance, it looks like. Let's try eco. All right, so this is eco. So let's see what this is doing. I'm not sure exactly what this is doing, but let's feel it. Give her a feel. I'm pressing up on this arrow. Okay, eco is like a free cruise, but it's really light. Okay guys, let's do a free ride and we're just gonna go down the road here. I just feel how this thing is. Wow, that really picked up the pace. So it's almost like it's speed controlling. Check this out. I'm just gonna keep gaining speed. I'm gonna press this red button. And I'm gonna go back into free cruise, which I should be in. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I'm in free cruise now. And it was almost like it was giving me resistance so I didn't go over a certain speed. Let me try that again. Yeah, I can feel the motor behind me giving me resistance. Pretty dang amazing how it really gives you resistance to not let you go too fast. That's pretty cool to me. We'll go down here to this next road. See, right now the motor behind me, it's giving me resistance again. Trying to give me a little resistance to maintain my speed, not to go too fast downhill. and give me some regen. That's not really great uphill. I'm not feeling a whole lot here. Yeah, I mean, it's helping me. And like I said, just a boost. You know, this isn't a huge battery, so you're only getting a few hundred watts. And even 500 watt scooters have trouble pushing me up this stuff. All right. So I think I maxed out on the boost. So this is it, just pushing me up this hill. So really, any kind of incline, guys, it's not gonna push you up it. Okay, you're gonna have to start to pedal. I was expecting a little more power. This is working good. It's just not much power, and it takes a while to figure out those modes. I'm gonna stop pedaling, and this is still probably about a 5% incline right here. So I could see this motor like a city helper, or like more of a flat terrain helper. It's gonna help you on hills, yeah, but not much. You can see this is like the maximum speed, and I'm only going like 10. And then once you start to get any kind of, like the hill's starting to go up here a little bit more, and it's just starting to bog, so I gotta help it go. So anyway, that's how this thing's working. This motor, guys, is for people that want a little bit of assistance, but really not much. If you just need that extra edge, let's go assistance. Whoa, okay, I just switched to assistance. Remember the boosting mode? And it was way harder. Oh my gosh, I'm back to free cruise. Come on. I'm in the easiest gear on my bike. Whoa, boy. Okay guys, you saw how this thing works. Let's go run through a pros and cons rundown. One of the cons, almost like this was a little defect on the clamp. This is kind of a pre-production model here. Hopefully they fixed that. Oh yeah, another little con here was I couldn't get the bottom of this little mud guard to clip on. So hopefully they can kind of improve that for the full production model, and that clips on a little easier. I didn't really feel uphill a whole lot until I turned it off coming up the driveway. You saw that. And it actually is helping quite a bit. So it may not feel like you're getting much assistance, but you actually are. It's making it a lot easier to pedal than if it wasn't on. One of the coolest features was the speed control, where you're kind of pedaling and you set that, remember that free ride? It would actually start to create drag and regen so you didn't start going too fast. Something I did not go through is some of the options here. You can actually record your route and all that kind of stuff. You can do kind of walkie-talkie. That's kind of interesting. Through the app, you can create a team. And remember, they do have like helmets and stuff that you can link to that have walkie-talkies in them. And it looks like this is the app that joins them all. I just was mainly in the device for this, but you can see how they have all these different devices. So one of the weird things I'm finding, guys, is the Bluetooth seems to be a little sporadic, maybe because it's a pre-production, I'm not sure, but I couldn't get it to reconnect. So I'm going to unbind this and try to rebind. Let's see if we can get everything to work again. It just seemed to work on the ride, and then I'm trying to show some things here. If that happens, just unbind and rebind. It's losing settings, so something they need to work on. Let's accept that again. I don't know why I can't select free cruise anymore. Please activate brake. You know, there we go. Okay, I guess you just got to really pull it really hard. And then it just wanted to make sure, I guess, the brake was working. Boy, you really have to separate that magnet. This is what I was doing to get the brake on. I had to separate it about that far. Otherwise, the brake light won't come on anywhere in this area here. And this is something it didn't say in the instructions either, the quick guide, is you're going to want to move this farther back. So I may have to work with that and move it either closer or farther away to get that brake light to work right. This was the thing that was kind of interesting to me, is you could select it, no problem, on the screen, but then the button, so we had standby, one press. Let's go 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of like you just got to choose one mode, and then it switches between standby and your one mode. So you have to really have the app. I don't see any other way to choose other modes. It's just kind of sporadic. It's like not really cycling through. So a little bit of quirks. Main thing you want to know about this thing, guys, is it's very subtle. It's not a bunch of power. So if you're just looking for a little boost to help you around, this is gonna work. I hope they can work out those couple of quirks, and this is gonna be a really unique type of motor. Not sure what's going on with this little button here. I think that's a power button, but there's like no button on it. So hopefully that's just, again, because this is the pre-production model. Let's verify that that is some kind of power checking button. Hopefully, there we go. Yeah, so I just clicked in there just on the little notch, and that is a meter. One little other con, it would have been nice to see like kind of what you're regenning and what your output is, wattage and stuff, if you are keen on using the app and maybe placing your phone up here on a holder. It's always nice to just have more information. I would have liked to seen like a battery percentage up here, so I kind of knew like maybe I had a downhill session for a long time. It'd be kind of neat to see that percentage maybe going up and knowing that the regen is working. They say it has regen, but who knows how much it's really working. All you get is this little tiny battery icon that doesn't really tell you much, except it's, you know, it's got 4 slits on it. Always nice to have more information. Overall, a good app. Looks like it just could use a little bit of improvement, especially that disconnecting and rebinding I keep having to do between my Android phone and the actual motor itself. I think this is going to be something pretty darn cool for you guys that are looking for a little bit of assistance. Remember, any bike you want to put this thing on, you want to revive a classic bike and give it a little bit of power, this might be just what you're looking for. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget, down below, down the description is where you can get the PikaBoost and also some of the other items I use on a daily basis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.